Okay, guys, welcome. Today we're going to talk about addition and subtraction of polynomials. Okay, so when you have terms in a polynomial that are only different by the numbers out front or different by the coefficients, they are what are called like terms, right? So that means that if you have terms that have the same variables to the same powers and that appearing multiple times, you can then combine them. And we will usually refer to that as combining like terms, right? And you'll just simply add the coefficient. So let's do a couple examples of that. Okay, so in part A, I want to add 4x squared minus 3xy plus 2y squared. And I want to add that, let's just maybe put these in parentheses just to indicate that they're separate. We have 2x squared minus xy minus y squared. All right, so now essentially the steps here are you're going to ignore those parentheses. So let me just get rid of them. And now we're just going to combine like terms. So the way that we do that is, let's look at our first term. We have 4x squared. Now, are there any other x squared terms? Well, yeah, of course. We have 2x squared. So now we add those coefficients. If we add 4 and 2, of course, that gives us a 6. And we leave x squared alone, right? If we look at minus 3xy, is there another xy term? Well, yes, of course. We have minus xy. So again, if you don't see this number here, it's really like a 1. We have negative 3 minus 1. So that gives me a negative 4xy. Okay, and then last but not least, we have 2y squared and minus y squared. So we can combine them to give a plus y squared. All right, so that's part A. In part B, we have x to the third minus 2x squared plus 6x. And I'm going to add that to x squared minus 4. And I'm going to add that to 2x to the third minus x plus 6. So we have 3 polynomials that we're adding here. So same idea as before. Let's first look for x to the third terms. So let's see, we have 2x to the third terms, and if we add those together, it looks like we get 3x to the third. Then it looks like I have a minus 2x squared and a plus x squared here. So it looks like that's going to combine to give me a minus 1 or just a minus x squared. Okay. Next, looks like we have a 6x and a minus x, so together they will become 5x. Okay, and last but not least, we have a minus 4 and a plus 6, so together they are plus 2. Okay, so that's the sum of those 2 polynomials. Now in part C, it looks like parentheses aren't given in this one, but not that we really need it for addition of polynomials. We just need to combine like terms again. Okay, so it looks like here we have 2x squared and 4x squared, so there's 6x squared. I have a plus x and a minus 5x, so together they're minus 4x. And then I have a minus 3, minus 8, so together they're minus 11. Okay, and then finally part D, we have minus 2x to the third plus 2x squared y squared minus 4y squared plus 4x to the third, this is a long one, plus 2y squared plus xy minus 7. Okay, so first, we'll look at the first term. Do we have any other x to the third terms? It looks like we have this one. So if we combine those two, we'll get a 2x to the third. Okay, and then let's see, do we have any other x squared, y squared terms? So in this case, it does not look like it. So here, we're just going to carry down x squared, y squared. Then we have a minus 4y squared and a plus 2y squared. So together they're minus 2y squared. And then we have 2 terms left that are just sort of by themselves. They don't have any other like terms. So we're just going to bring down the plus xy minus 7. And that's our final answer there. Okay, so that's adding polynomials. Now for subtraction, you have to be a little bit more careful, right? You need to distribute your negative 1 coefficient to all your terms in the second expression first, and then we'll do what we just did with combining like terms. Okay, so for example, in part A, we have 3 times x squared minus 2xy plus 1/3 y squared. And then we want to subtract 2 times 2y squared plus x squared minus 1/2 xy. Right, so we actually need to distribute first, right? So that will actually sort of help us take care of this minus out here. But even if this was just minus this part, we would still need to we would still need to distribute that negative. But anyway, so we're going to get a 3x squared minus a 6xy, and then 3 times 1/3 would just cancel and leave me with a y squared. Then in the second one, I'm going to get a minus 4y squared minus 2x squared, and then 2 and 1/2 cancel, and I get a plus xy. So now we can combine our like terms. So it looks like 3x squared and minus 2x squared. So together they will make just a positive 1x squared, or just x squared. Minus 6xy and a plus xy. So it looks like together they are minus 5xy. And then finally, I have a y squared and a minus 4y squared. So together they're minus 3y squared. Okay, let's look at part B. So now part B, I think, is a typo. I think that was meant to be a subtraction, but we'll do it as written, just sort of as a review. Okay, so what do we need to do? We need to distribute. We get a 2x squared minus 10x, and then a plus 4x minus 12. So it looks like the only two terms we can combine are those two middle terms. And when all is said and done, we'll end up with 2x squared from before. And then if we combine those middle terms, we'll get a minus 6x and then minus 12. In part C, we have a 6 times x squared plus 2xy minus 1, and then minus 4 times negative xy minus 2 plus 2x squared. Okay, so just like before, first thing that we'll do is we'll distribute. We'll get a 6x squared plus 12xy minus 6, and then a plus 4xy plus 8, and then a minus 8x squared. So now it looks like when we combine, I have a 6x squared and a minus 8x squared, so together they're minus 2x squared. Okay, then we have a plus 12xy and a plus 4xy, so together they're plus 16xy. And then I'm left with this minus 6 and plus 8, so together they're plus 2. Okay, so then of course part D, let's see. So part D, we have 4 times a 1/2 x squared plus a 1/4 x plus 1 plus 5 times 2x squared minus 2 over 5 x minus 1. Okay. So we can distribute just like we did before. 4 times 1/2 is 2. And then 4 times 1/4 is just 1. So we're just going to be left with x. And then 4 times 1 is, of course, 4. All right, I think this was, oh no, that is also plus again. Okay, so we get a plus 10x squared. And then the 5s will cancel out in this next one. We'll be left with negative 2x and then a minus 5. So now if we combine like terms, 2x squared and 10x squared is a 12x squared. And then we have a plus x and a minus 2x, so that's minus x. And then plus 4 minus 5 together, of course, gives us minus 1. Okay, so that concludes this video on adding and subtracting polynomials. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.